opportunity to interact with your aspirants before vetting or even before elections. But then you don't get it. This is why 1957 News and GIJ Headquarters has brought to your campus to be able to interact with the 2022-2023 academic year SRC aspirants. I am a champion Anate Shiwa. Let's go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll educate ourselves more. You welcome back from the commercial break. When it's getting heated, we play the best songs for you. Now, I want the aspirants to introduce themselves. I wouldn't want to do it for them. Please introduce yourself.
All right, so I'm also Ansa Bismarck, a level 300 PR student of Ghana Institute of Journalism. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so I am Edina Madoboy, level 300 PR top-up student.
My name is Mudathir Elias Isa. I am a level 300 student reading journalism. Thank you.
Yes, we heard them all. They are on level 300. And then we should know that the Constitution says that it doesn't restrict any level from standing. But we have level 300 students here also ready to... They filed the nominations, though. They picked up their nomination form. So let's start. We all know they are going for the presidential position. So we wouldn't really ask them what they are going for. So the first question I would want to ask is that I would want to ask Eddie Nam first why he had to file for the nomination of the president. What really inspired you to go for that position?
Well, inspirations are driven from experience, or observations, or things you've realized needed to be done. So when someone asks me what inspires me, my inspiration has always been to serve the people. I drive my happiness or my joy when I am able to assist somebody or I'm able to help somebody solve their problem. Then I think I feel fulfilled. So when you ask inspiration, it's about service. It's about making the people happy so that I can also be happy. When the people are not happy, I have no joy.
When the people are not happy, he has no joy. Yeah, so, Muda, do you think you qualify for this position? Do you think you really qualify as a candidate? And then what have you done that you think you qualify as a candidate?
Thank you very much. The qualification, yes, I do. Legally, I do. Because you are supposed to serve minimum period of 6 months in any committee of the SRC to qualify to run for an executive position. Over the last 3 years, my life on campus has been of service. I currently am the president for Writers and Debaters Society, and I am the president for Ghana Muslim Student Association on campus. I've been Defendant General before for General Assembly, and I've served in many different capacities. I was the former communications director for the former SRC General Secretary. So, I mean, if it is 6 months minimum, and my 3 years life on campus has been of service, I mean, so yes, I do qualify. And I believe that is the reason why I have picked the nomination forms, and I'm filing SIM to contest for the position. Thank you.
Do you think you qualify?
Yes, I do. Qualification is one of the criteria you have to look up to when you are going to a contest or anything. So if I don't, I wouldn't be here. From level 100, I mean, my second week on campus, I've served in the General Assembly. Okay, I've held positions in the school. I've worked with academic affairs as a student academic board member. I've been on the interim committee. I've held position. I'm currently the president of Road Track Club of GIJ. The first time we are having that on campus. It's a service club. And sorry to say, if you're not a person who would like to serve humanity, you may not feel comfortable in such a club because all we do is to serve the people. So I have served in all portfolios that I think will help me qualify. I have served the student body, and that is why I believe that I qualify to contest for this election.
We've had, okay, they're all talking about 777. Now let's move to the policies. We've had unrealistic stuff from past candidates, unrealistic stuff from people or national, even national level. But then I would want to know how realistic are your policies, Muda?
Okay, so I am, should I say, a lead advocate of getting to understand the office you are running for and the institution you find yourself in. That should guide whatever policies you should have to help in developing the institution. So yes, there have been unrealistic policies, and of course we expect another set of unrealistic policies from any of us. I believe it's largely because of what we have made of our politics. If you try to be honest with your ways, then you realize people would not like that you are being honest with them. So that is why some politicians have resorted and have specialized in manipulating people, in deceiving people, in trying to say things that cannot be done, just so they create that exaggerated impression about themselves, so they are able to get to what they, where they want to get to, I mean the position, and then in the end, you realize it will be the disappointment. And I believe that is what has contributed in the whole apathy, general apathy within the students' body when it comes to the politics on campus. I mean, this is about SRC. This is about the leadership of the students' body. And here we are. We are supposed to have a fully packed class. But if you look at the audience, you realize, I mean, it's not very encouraging. It is because the people are giving up on the leadership of the students. And it is because of the cyclical, deceits that we have subjected people in or to, which has contributed largely to this. So I am trying to bring, myself and the team are trying to bring on board policies that we can look at the structural flaws in the institutional nature of the SRC. Because we believe when the foundation is stronger, then of course any other building you put up on it will last longer. Thank you very much.
Expect unrealistic stuff from them. Okay. You are saying you and your team are bringing on board, and then you again said that the people are getting fed up. So you even use the example of your audience here. If your people are getting fed up, what should they expect from you? That what have you done that if they had Muda was coming for the interview, they would have rushed here to come? So what have you done that you are trying to put to them that if I have done this and that, then this should give you the reason why you should come and listen to the interview or come and watch me speak more to you? I just want to know if you get the question.
Much as there is a problem, as I have mentioned earlier, with regards to the body polity of the school, there is also this sort of nonchalance from students regards to how they relate to some of this quote-unquote boring stuff. If it were entertainment, or that we came to mount speakers here and started playing, the modern songs, you would have a lot of people come here just so they dance or they watch people dancing. I have done enough, and I believe what I have done over the years should have people come here. But of course, as I said, there is this general apathy with regards to the whole student leadership in the school. So whenever the students hear anything SRC, They are like, oh, business as usual. Unkrofo sa na omotie. So that is why we are bringing on board what you call a new brand of leadership, so that we will give the people something to hold on to, something to believe in, something they would be proudly associating with, so that they will actively participate in everything regards to the SRC. Because if the SRC has disappointed them countless times, and they are hearing stories from their seniors about what the SRC has done, corruption issues, mismanagement, and all these things, I believe whoever it is would have given up. So I am only hoping that I am elected into office. If I am, then of course we are bringing some fresh ideas. I mean, something different to try to rejuvenate the entire student, reaction or relations to the politics of the school. Thank you.
The school is in court, not the school that's sending itself to court, but then Edinam is involved. So I would want you to either clarify that, confirm that, or deny that for me.
When the people are happy, I drive my joy. Yeah, school is in court for the interest of students. I've always said that these are issues in court. Court issues cannot be commented on, but I can confirm that the school is in court. I'm involved as a plaintiff, but it's for the interest of students. Maybe the outcome I won't benefit. It's not of my interest, but it will benefit the whole student body and the SRC, which you are part. But there are issues in court, and then any comment will mean a contempt of court.
Bismarck. So our condolences though, he lost his father not long ago. But after he lost his father, so this show does not only bring out proofs, but we come along with proofs. We would want to show it to the viewers, if possible. My producer will do exactly that. I would want to read the post on Muda's status. Okay, so Bismarck lost his father. Bismarck, when did you lose your father?
I think we should allow the dead to rest. We are here for the students, right? And questions like that will probably take me somewhere I do not want to go. All right. My dad lived a good life. And if you know me and what I'm doing is not even a quarter of what my dad has done. So I respect him very much, and I respect my family very much. Whatever happened, the family will take care of it. So let's move on to other issues that is in the interest of the students. All right, that one will be better than something that's happened, let me see, some days ago that I don't want to go back to. Because disrespect is disrespect, and a person not being human isn't the best that I would like to, talk about or comment about. So let's go to this.
We heard him. Bismarck, many students say that you are saying you've paid a lot of people's school fees. You are still doing it. How true is that?
Well, if I say the money or whatever money is involved is coming from my coffers, then that's a big lie. All right, but what I believe is, whatever influence you have, okay, use that influence to help people. Okay, I have been through hard times before. There are times I also couldn't pay my fees due to certain reasons. Do you understand? But the money I used to pay, or the money used to pay these fees for the students, is not coming from me. It's coming from my boss. Okay, he's doing that because of the kind of person he is and the kind of person I am. Okay, yes, it's true we've paid fees for people We still have the receipts over there. If I mean, this is my file. I carry it wherever I go to. I have names over here. But I mean, it's not good to put someone's name out there that he or she was in whatever. But those who know I've done that for the students, I did it for them, not because of anything, because I feel that we all have the right to be educated. I may be intelligent or may not be intelligent, but if you give the next person the next chance, he or she will be the one you may rely on in life. Do you understand? So it's about helping ourselves. Okay, so the money is not coming from me, it's coming from my boss. His name is Prince Inamde, and he's doing marvelous. He's not doing this for me alone. He has orphanages that he takes care of in Togo, Nigeria, and Ghana here. So this is just something that he like to do. I told him there are some friends or people in the school that I need. And he said, well, if we have the money and we don't use it to help people, then what's the essence of that money? So let's do this. Sometimes it's just about the list. People, I get their names and the index number, and I just give it to him. Then he pay. Some of them I don't even know them. Okay, so he just sends the money. I just pay for the. Well, I mean, just that. So that is true. Anything that you hear out there, I think you have to use logics to assess if it's true or not. Because I wouldn't say I've done that if I've not done that, and people wouldn't say I've done that if I've not done that, right? So it's true.
It is true. So those of you that you've not paid your school fees, Bankola is here.
Let me say this. So last semester the list was 15. Then when people got to know about it, it jumped to 30. So please, the issue is if you are capable of getting the money, don't come to us, because you are depriving someone else from getting what is meant for him. And I don't do this alone. I mean, I don't do it alone. Friends come to me with it and we take it on. So maybe I may hear that, or this is the problem this person is going through then. But please, don't flood my DM with it. Because sometimes the pressure. I'm one person, if you come to me with a request and I do not get it for you, especially something like this, I feel very bad. It sometimes takes my sleep. So maybe you may see me online 2 a.m. and yes, it's because I drink it also. Yes, please. So let's not let's let the right people come, but not just anybody, please. If you are capable of, why not? Just pay. But if you're not, we will find ways and means to. Because even amongst ourselves, we contribute money to help ourselves. Yeah, there are many times that we've done that. So it shouldn't be always McCoy or Bismarck Usu answer. You understand me? Yeah, we should try and curb the issue, because he said I can 100 number to me no, do you understand me? But if the number is that cool, we can take care of it. Thank you very much.
Most of you know them by their nicknames. Muda is known as Dangata, and then Edinam is known as Great Fire, and then Besmak is known as McCoy. So I think when they were introducing themselves, most of you were a bit confused. So let's go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll hit it up from there. Welcome back from the commercial break. Welcome, my people. I want to take your views on this question. We've all heard about the KUSC students and management issues. Should that happen in GIJ when you're a leader in your term of office? What do you think you can do to solve this problem? I would want to start with Muda.
Thank you very much. Before I go on to answer your question, I think I have a few issues I would want to draw your attention to. I, I have a problem with your line of questioning because we are three here and we are all running for the same portfolio. So I expect that you come with prepared questions. So if it is about leadership, so you hear from all of us. If it is about our service to students, you hear from all of us, at least for the benefit of the audience, so they can make better judgment. Then you go to my brother in black who has lost his uncle, that he, that's, 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 that he has been paying fees for students and all that. You see, what I see is unfairness. Because if, I mean, what you have, you discredit. I mean, what you don't have, you discredit. It is not my fault that I am eloquent. It is not my fault. And that it is not my fault that, I mean, a supposed press release is put out there and then it turned out to be a disaster. It is not my fault. At least I could have proofread for whoever. Yes, grammar does not, I mean, make a leader. I didn't tell anyone to vote for me because I am eloquent. I have never mentioned it anywhere. So if your line of questioning seeks to bastardize grammar, then you are invariably discouraging students from reading and learning. You see, this is as much a conversation as it is an educational platform that at least we can reach out to make sure that we at least convey to people what is supposed to be. So that is the unfairness I have seen here. And I don't think that, I mean, payment of school fees should be something that anyone should take pride in. I am a believer, and I believe whatever happens is ordained by God. And if you, Techiwa, today reach out to me on a personal level, and then God used me to help you, I don't see any pride in coming to mention that I am paying fees for students, so vote for me to be SRC president. I mean, all of us here are student leaders, and I believe all of them would attest to the fact that so far as you are a leader, there are certain responsibilities that comes with it. So why should you say you pay for 15 students fees? So that should make you SRC president? That is patronage, and I have problem with that. Talk about your competencies, what you can do, what you have done for students that you think qualify. Because you see, this is about leadership. This is not charity work. We are talking leadership, and you should know that even the leadership, you have many, many forms of leadership. You have to understand it to know which one to deploy at what point. You have advocacy leadership, you have administrative leadership, and then you have activism leadership. Everyone who seeks to lead a student body should know what these are and when to deploy what. We are not here to patronize people. We are not here to say that, oh, Nene Kofi has come to me. He doesn't have lorry fare. I pay this lorry fare. So that automatically makes me qualified to be SRC president. I mean, let's raise the bar. I mean, we are intellectuals. We are students. We should start voting and basing on issues, not patronage. Not that I come to your hostel and spend the night with you, no. Not that. We are talking about qualification and what you can bring on board to make sure that collectively students are able to have some comfort in their studies. And then the third thing, okay, I think I've dealt with that. That grammar doesn't prove intelligence or leadership. Yes, we hear. But does bad grammar prove leadership? I mean, so let's get serious and deal with the issues. I mean, it is, as I said, no fault of mine that I grew up reading. It is no fault of mine that I appear to sound eloquent or that to be good in grammar. I have never said anywhere that anyone should vote for me because I speak well or that I have good grammar in discussion. Now to your question.
I think you would want me to repeat my question.
No, I don't.
You
I mean, if what happens in KNUST, I am a diplomat. I believe as a leader, you should have a little bit of diplomacy in you. You should have a little bit of fire in you. You should have a little bit of, should I say, activism in you. Because as you lead, you are going to lead in many different circumstances and periods. I mean, as you sit here, we don't know what happens. I mean, anything can just happen on campus, which will require us to show leadership. So I believe the issue at KNUST could have been solved at the student level, because most of the students act based on the words of their leaders or the leadership. So, as I said, as a leader, you should have a little bit of diplomacy in you and a little bit of activism. You activate the activism part when you realize things had gotten to that point and you need to activate that to actually make use of it. But I believe, you see, I don't like it when students have to always use violence or rampage to settle scores. I mean, I have had a series of issues when I came to campus. But a lot of it, I fight it through what they call quote and unquote proper channels, that you write petition to the relevant offices. You try to go to them personally. If you don't get any feedback, to ask them that I have submitted a petition or a letter to your office. I still have not gotten any feedback. What do you think? So you do that, and then you also try to have a communication channel with your members. Then every time, you should just try that. You should not be a leader who would lead people into violence. Because, I mean, there is nothing to profit from violence, really. It does appear to us that, okay, when we go on demonstrations, when we shout and, I mean, go on rampage, we get a solution. But the inverse result is that it creates a certain impression about us that, if you are not careful, it will be indelible forever. KNUST now is, I mean, seen as, excuse my words, like some school of rebels. Because anything that, I mean, any news that comes into, I mean, the media space about KNUST, it's about demonstrations, it's about, I mean, rampaging students, it's about, but I believe most of the students there are doing the best of things that we don't even get to hear of. So what are the leaders doing about that? Why is it that they always have to lead, to lead the students into demonstrations, but not rather lead them to give them platforms? I mean, if you have any idea, should lead them so they go to pitch it where they are supposed to pitch it, so they get the necessary financial support or funding. I mean, so basically, I have said that I believe in diplomacy, and that it is unfortunate what is happening in KNUST, and I don't wish that anything like that should happen in GIJ, because, I mean, GIJ, we are professionals, and we are gentle in the things, I mean, the way we deal with things. Thank you.
I'll take a dynamic view on that.
Well, thank you. It's good I sit where I am seated. I've always been the people's person. I've always want to understand issues from the scratch, to understand how you understand it from your perspective. Then when I am addressing the issue, I address it from your level. Yes, the issue in KNUST, I think that should the leaders there at the time were as sensitive to issues like I have always been, just like even this interview, I foresaw what is likely to happen, so I quickly have to swap positions to be a neutral catalyst. This is not to say that anything will happen, but as a leader who see things from the perspective of the individual person, should always be security conscious. So most of the times, certain things that happen start from a point. It always starts from maybe one person. It always starts from a mind of one person, transferred to another person, and then it moves slowly to the masses. The issue of uh, KNUST. It's a matter of rivalry between halls. It's in the big universities. Maybe in GIJ, it is not really something we see because our halls are not residential halls, which I think maybe in the near future we might have residential hall. You always hear the Mandela halls who chanting that we are the best. Yes, we've always been the best halls. We've won it over and over and over again. I don't care whatever my other aspirants will say, but we have over and over again. But that doesn't dispute the fact that other halls are also equally good. But it's about the angle from which you understand what arguments are. I, for one, has always been a person who like criticism, either to me or to another person. But you should always see that those are the things that keeps you stronger. It makes you bolder. Even the Bible says that the fact that you like something and your brother doesn't like it doesn't mean that it's forbidden. I hope you get it. We should be tolerant and stuff. And coming that, should it happen in GIJ? Oh, maybe not our time. Maybe not the time of Edinam. On a real, never. Because I've always been to the ground with you, with students. Some may say that you don't see me always and frequently, but I'm one person who monitors happenings in GIJ. I might not be writing or saying the things I see, because once I notice it, I quickly solve it and then I go. I don't keep record of the things I've done for people, because service is my hobby. Like I said earlier from the beginning of the interview, that what I do for people is what I drive my joy from. Okay, when you are happy, I am happy. And I'm sure if the show had been violent, we would have closed. But yes, we keep enjoying it. I can be here and be enjoying the show till maybe we go to vetting on Friday. Yes, because I'm enjoying it, I'm learning, I'm getting. But should it happen in GIJ? Not under Edinam, or not under 2022-2023 badge. For me, I think that at this point, we have grown to be smart, to notice things. I know if something of that sort will even happen in maybe between any of the hostels, or even in this hostel, you alert us. I think maybe one of us will be the first to be called. That, Charlie, your people are doing this. Quickly, we will know what to do. It's about being security conscious. Okay? And I'll just use this opportunity to advise all of us, viewers and then audience here, that let's just be cautious about the things we do. Let's be smart about it and understand that people will tease us. But I've always learned that people who criticize you are the best people who correct you. I always said, I think last time I was on a show and I did say this, that as I'm seated here, maybe if I ask Moses how I am looking, or I've asked you, oh, how am I looking? Your answer will be, Charlie, you are looking great. I hope you get it. But maybe there might be someone who don't like me. You say, so Utu no, you are wearing a white shirt with a stain. Per the person is teasing me. But to me, quickly I'll change my shirt. You know why? The person had prompted me to do the right thing. So criticisms, for me, it makes me stronger, smarter, and wise. But issue of KNUST happening in GIJ, should it happen? In fact, not under Edinam or under 2022-2023 SRC.
Well, before I go to the question you asked, I believe that none of us, okay, is out there boasting of what we do for people, all right? But when you do something for people and they appreciate you, they preach your gospel. You understand me? it is not my fault that people come to me for whatever they need, and in a way I'm able to provide. Before that, I said that whatever influence you have, you should channel it into helping people. In the constitution of the SRC, it states that the welfare of the people, the what welfare of the people, just as their interest, should be paramount. You understand me? So, if someone has something to his name and you think it's good, I think you should emulate it. You should try and do same for all of us. You understand me? And let's not think that people want to use that as yardsticks for whatever reason. You understand me? So let's not even go there. I think good name sells because the person did something good. And if the people are singing the chorus, I mean, that's fine. We don't go with banners on our heads and telling people or showing to the people what we do or we do not. We are not saints. We all have dark spots in our white garments that we wear. You understand me? But that doesn't mean we should sit and let people, in a way, suffer if they are suffering. Okay, and I said that the monies are not coming from me. They are not mine. Those are huge sums of money. Working, I'm a student and I have other things I have to take care of myself. But they are not mine. So if you have nothing to your name and someone has something to his name, I think we should let that be. Okay? But say kwatreka so be ma ntoma tie ni din nti say obi so ntoma bebre na say obeche obi a eno nye asema say they can asem. You understand me? So back to the issue of KNUST. Yeah, I'm a very peaceful person and I love negotiations. It's so nice to be in a room and negotiate. Okay, every problem to me can be solved with negotiations. You understand me? So if the issues are coming up, we should find ways and means to sort them so that it do not escalate to that level where students will fight. There are many times we hear one or two people having, let me say, a beef, and we go and we have to sort it out for the people. Okay, I will advise my brothers and sisters at KNUST, that violence is not the best. Whoever you are fighting for, whatever you are fighting for, if you die, you are gone. You understand me? You may fight and you may not even see the end of it. For those who have seen the end of war, is the dead. And until you die, you not see the end of war. So please, let's not go into war with ourselves because of affiliations and other issues. We are students, we have to learn, we have bigger problems to solve. We have to help develop Ghana in our own way. So if, I'm not saying it should happen here, but if something like that, I believe we all come together, no matter our differences, okay, we all come together and make sure it do not even escalate. There are times we've done that before, be on the streets before, but even doing that, we still negotiate with management and with the authorities to make sure that things are done in the right ways. You understand? So please, to my brothers out there, violence, oh no, has never. I mean, we can play with it, we can troll ourselves, the normal trolls that we do for each other, that's fine. But for it to go to the extent that I pick a weapon and you also pick a weapon, no. That shouldn't be the way. We should always find ways and means to negotiate our ways, and it should be a win-win negotiation. You understand me? So, to my fellow GIJ students, whenever we have problems, we should look at the right channels to solve them, okay, and not pick sides, to pick weapons and fight. So that's what I will say about this.
I will take my last but one question, then we'll move to the questions from our audience. I'm pretty sure you all have questions for them. So my last question to the three of you is, each and everyone is saying to serve, to serve, to serve. Now let's be honest to ourselves. What is there to gain? Should you be the SRC president? I'll start with Edinam.
So, what is there to gain in what sense? If you can really communicate your question well.
So what I'm trying to say is that, what I'm trying to ask is, what is there to gain as a candidate? Maybe political, academics, social. What is there to gain? Because you keep saying 777, which you are serving the people. So you, the individual, what is your gain? Do you get my question?
Okay, so for me, having served on almost a lot of committees in GIJ and currently serving as General Assembly Rep, I can say confidently here that for the 1 year I have served as General Assembly Rep, I have never even gone for my sitting allowance before. It's about digesting the issues of students, make sure the students have the best environment to learn, and maybe some extra curricular activities. So for me, I don't know what to gain in terms of monetary. Maybe I don't think for the SRC, one, it should be on record that SRC executives are not paid. Not in GIJ. If they are, or the current executives are paid, maybe they themselves can say. But for the constitution haven't made any provision that this is how much the SRC executive is to be paid, if they are paid. Not that I know that they are being paid. Maybe there are some allowances, like General Assembly. When we go on sitting, there is 30 cedis per sitting. But I have never gone for mine before. Not because of anything, but I feel that money could be channeled in other activities, or as given as donation to maybe support a student or something. But yes, it's allowance are allowances. I haven't gone for mine. Doesn't mean when someone goes for it, it's a crime. Yes, provisions are made for me. I don't know if those monies are kept. I haven't followed up on it. Maybe they are still kept in my name or against my name, that any day I walk in that I will need it, get it. It is for me to present myself, is to come out and say that this person says I have this issue, haven't known the processes that issues are addressed in GIJ. To be able to take the person through the process smoothly, swiftly, for the person to get fulfillment. Like I said earlier, and I've said it over and over again, for me, it is when you are happy. You get it? It is when you are happy.
And please pass
The question again.
So my question is, what is there to gain? Should you win the elections or should you pass the vetting? What is there to gain? Because you keep saying 7, which is, you are rather given, okay? So 7, the people. What is there to gain as a candidate or an aspirant?
Thank you very much. I am a person that some people find weird, because in things most of people have fun. I don't. I don't party because perhaps I don't know how to dance. But I sometimes go to parties, not to dance, but to watch people dance. I see them dance, I become happy and fulfilled. That has been what has defined my life since I was an infant. So a lot of things I don't really engage myself in to do. Not because I feel perhaps different, no, but because I have my own way of deriving the fun. which is not as everyone. So I am living a life of service. I do so not for anything, but so I will feel fulfilled as human. Because I believe for each of us, there is a purpose for which God brought you to this world. So if you are able to find that purpose, that is how you would achieve your maximum potential in actually using that purpose to the benefit of humanity and everyone. So what is there to gain? I think to me is the fulfillment about life. The fact that I feel I have helped shape dreams. I have helped groom channel of leaders. I have helped to put a smile on someone's face. I have helped to get someone not to even think of giving up. I think somewhere last week I had someone. It was my birthday, and one of the messages I received, who got me teary, on that day was that the person shared a personal story with me, and it was my words that actually, took that suicidal thinking from the person. I mean, the person is a student, and you see, not all of us are able to open up to everyone, but for the trust the person has in me, the person approached and opened up, and I was able to help just with my words. And after that day, I read the message and I felt fulfilled, at least for that week. If I didn't even have anything that I have achieved in my checklist, for that alone, I felt that I have done something so significant. So, to us, it is not for any ulterior motive. That is why I don't come to see that I have paid fees for someone, even if it is external people that are contributing. That is not necessary. That is not why you should be a leader. What should be a leader is that, say, I have reached out to help groom these people. Or for me, this person is now at this stage in their academic and professional lives. That is what you do. I mean, otherwise, if you should ask Edinam whether or not he has paid fees for someone, I know the answer because I know he is a student leader. And I know the responsibilities, or should I say, the extra responsibilities that comes with leading. So if my brother who lost his uncle is repeating that and kept saying that for that he has a good name to himself, then it's a problem. Because I don't see what you should be bragging about, you reaching out to people. If for nothing, for the dignity of that person, you are supposed to keep it secret. He mentioned he had list here. If it was for the good intentions, why would you reach out to someone and help the person? And then you prepare a list. What would you use the list for? I mean, so as I said, if we are leading, if we are serving, we should serve with all the good intentions. Thank you very much.
And let me take the last view from him.
All right. So there's a quote I love so much, and not just me. I think almost everyone in my family loves it. It says, and I quote, and it's from the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. It says, "Service to God and to mankind are only purpose on this earth. If one omits just one of it, you are doomed." So you can love God, serve God, but if you don't serve humanity, you are doomed. If you serve humanity and you do not serve God, you are doomed. Okay, so when we talk about service, I mean, it's not only about doing good to people and maybe getting something out of it, all right? Some of us are here just to fulfill why we came to this earth, right? And I mean, I want to laugh over the issue, but we should let the dead rest. Okay, we should let the dead rest, and we shouldn't continuously try to hit somebody for him or she or whoever to react. You understand? This is a discussion among 3 aspirants. Where does the death of one of them comes in? Who calls for that? See, I believe people are not who they preach they are. Because if 1 billion times people are telling you what you are doing is wrong, but you are doing it just to put somebody on a seat that he or she may throw the hand or something, then I'm sorry to say you will not achieve that today. But we live battles and fight wars later. And I leave everything into the hands of God, and into the hands of the gods, and into the hands of anyone here. All right. That if something like this has not happened to me, and I, Kuku Usu Ansa, is sitting here, please, and I mean, talking about it, and someone is making a mockery. This is the 3rd or 4th time he has made that, you see, and I'm pretending as if everything is cool, but let's take it as if everything is cool, right? So to me, serving the people is it. Okay, just serve when you go is between you and God, not to gain anything from it. And I'll say again, if you don't have anything to your name and someone has something to his name, you don't use that as an argument anywhere. Thank you very much.
We've gotten to the part where we will ask questions from our audience. We are giving each and everyone the opportunity to ask just one question for the sake of time. So you just come here, you mention your name, and you ask your question. Brief enough for us.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Confidence. You can call me Mr. Confidence, a Diploma 1 regular student. And my question goes to Dangata because he's a journalism student. Okay, for internship, students find it difficult to get places to do their internship. And here is a communication institution. And when you go to Legon, they are not more into communication, but they have Radio Universe, which is working, actively for them. They have social media pages. When you go to Twitter website, you can get a lot of information to read. So, Dangata, you as a journalism student, what are you doing to improve communication and also get places for students to do their internship? Thank you.
So, my question is, what are your ideas, just to mention few, to convince us as to whether we should vote for you? Thank you.
Good day, honorable moderator and her distinguished guests. I'm Isaac Donko, distinguished, and permit me to say that all the policies have been spoken of during these discussions, I've heard of them several times, and not me alone. I mean, most of the people here have heard of it several times. So to me, and then the person feeling the same way like I'm feeling now, I will only be persuaded, or we will only be persuaded, if you are able to point out clearly 2 things each, practically, rather than just saying what's like touting your participation in committee, of which we all know there are a number of parliamentarians who have achieved nothing, just that they are bearing the titles MPs. Thank you.
My question I have is that, as aspirants of presidential candidates in SRC, what have you seen wrong, or what have you seen not going well in the SRC or in the school, that if you become president, you will seek to fix? And the follow-up question is, as your experience in the as students, 3 years in GIJ, what are some of the things that you are seeing that is not being done well, that is still make a drawing SRC back till date, and you are poised to come and then cause a change in that aspect? These are my 2 questions.
If you are being given an opportunity
to change something about your own self, about the government that you want to enter, what will be that one thing that you think I will change about myself in this position, in this leadership position?
If you have views or you want to share your views on any of the questions, please make it brief for us. So the first question I recall was directed to Muda. So I'd want to start with Muda. Then if you want to have a take on that, please make it brief for us.
Thank you very much. So if I remember the question, it was that what I could do as SRC president to help students to get internship opportunities. I will be president and I will be in charge of the executive committee, or be the chairman of the executive committee. So you are the president and you are going to work with all other elected officers, of which the External Affairs Commissioner is one of. So what I will do is that, of course, I personally have had series of engagement. I still do with people, and I don't know if I should call it network, but of course, what I will do as SRC president is to liaise with the External Affairs Commissioner and then make sure that we don't only just give internship opportunities to students, but as well teach and communicate to them how they are able to even apply for internships in the various forms of the institutions across the country. And of course, it is also important that we, as I said, give them or share with them information about institutions that would need the services of interns. So you work with the External Affairs Commissioner, and that there's this periodic communication to them about institutions that need interns. And then, of course, you help them apply and do all the necessary processes to gain in the opportunity. Thank you.
Edinam, I would want you to start with the second question, followed by Bismarck, then to Muda. So I would want you to start with the second question for me.
Okay, so the question was, we should point out in general our ideas. I have a lot of categories. My team have put solid ideas for students. We look at areas of health, communication, sports, and stuff. The teams that have brought these policies together are so phenomenal. They are people who have good researchers, research into student issues, and have corrected data from students, exactly what the students need, not what we want, because it is for the student. So the research team has really collected strong points from students by data. Some of you might have shared the data on what you want to do. You didn't know the campaign was coming from, but my researchers have really done a good job, and I'll promise everybody that come May Friday, you see the best of policies from you that you have proposed. I want to take all at once, and then because of time. So for internship, it's a priority to me. I have served as the longest external affairs rep in GIJ from 2019 to 2021, and I know the importance of the external affairs to students. So basically, in collaboration with the external affairs office, the issue of internship will really be work. Point out your work. I don't know the angle. I think the person wants us to point out our work on what we have done, but I think it's about what we will be doing. And I've mentioned the areas at which we are, my policies will be targeting at. And then what have you seen not going well that you seek to fix? Most of the things about communication, we do not communicate, even though we are in the communications. Have been the highest issues students have raised. So as an aspirant, I should think about how the people should know about the happenings around them. It's key to me, because I think if we know, we will not ask many questions. So it's part of the areas. What hasn't been done? GIJ students haven't projected GIJ to the outside world well. We use the pains and experiences that is developing us as a yardstick to not really sell the brand. I think that is what hasn't been done over the years by students. So I think it's one of the things that students, at least those of us here and those who are watching or those who will be watching, should take key. It is one of the things we haven't, as students, not just me or as a leader, but as student haven't done. I think I've covered all the questions that were asked. Thank you.
Well, for the internship, a time ago, the SRC was helping students get internship. I think now they are not, but we will still have to do that. And it's not just an internship; it should be internship that will impact into you, the student's life. I interned at TV3 some time ago, and a lot of students were. I went there because one of our friends took me there. Okay, and I know how it has helped me in terms of communication and all that. So definitely, we will have to look at that and things to fix in the SRC. I believe always that people in high positions should not be seen as, should I say, demigods or something. The SRC is supposed to come down to the people, know their problems. So the office is there, but some people do not even know that there's an SRC office or something, because most of the executives go, they sit in the office. But one thing I would like to change is we should put our offices aside, come down to the people, find what the people need. We should be with the people. That is the only way we can know their interest, and that's the only way we can sort things out for them. You understand me? And another one, to what I would like to change about myself. Yeah, human beings, as we grow, we do change. And I pray I do not change from good to bad, but always from good to good or better. All right, so I don't know. I'm not perfect, but definitely if I find something that I think I have to change about myself, I pray I will do so. I don't know if these are the questions. And one, okay, policies. For now, we are not allowed to lay our policies to the electorate, because Friday we'll be having our vetting, and over there, all of us will come and share the ideas we have and all that. So the person who asked the question, I please want you to be there so that you get to know what I have together with my team thought of. You understand me? Doing. So that is what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the second question I have here is that why you should be voted for. I believe leadership is not about just qualification. All the three of us here qualify. That is why we have presented ourselves to run for the office. But there should be something that makes you outstanding, that you feel that is what is needed in the office. Over the years, the SRC has lacked what we call, what I call a leader with a character. It's always been business as usual. Power, it's almost becoming transferable in GIJ. That's administrations come, they mismanage funds, and then when they are leaving, they find a way of bringing someone who would come and cover up their tracks. So that is where the character is missing. If we are indeed serving or seeking to lead the students in the interest of the students, then I believe we should rather have someone who has the character. As I said, we all qualify. But I believe I stand out in terms of character and conduct to help lead the SRC and bring the necessary change that it needs to actually be a befitting one. for the whole student body. Then the next question is that what political things have I achieved? I don't know. I want to remember who asked this question. When you say political things, I find it a bit challenging because I have always been a student in GIJ, not a politician. I mean, it is until recently that I felt maybe I should try being a politician too, but I feel being a student is a bit more better for me. So I remain a student. So when you say what I've achieved politically, maybe I would rather mention that I am president for Writers and Debaters Society. I am president for Ghana Muslim Student Association. I served as Defendant General, and then I was part of the interim committee. Last year's election went to courts, and after the court judgment, there was an appeal. So on the appeals board, you work with the dean of students, the registrar, to bring resolution to the issue. I was a part of the appeals board as well. So I don't know if this can be, classified as political achievements, but if it is really about the experience and what you have been exposed to, I believe I have enough. That I believe, being the president, I should be able to harness all that experience and exposure to be able to put the SRC on a path that will be a prosperous one. Then, what is not going on? What is not going on well with the SRC? I believe I will say again, or to repeat, that the SRC, one, lacks direction. Two, I don't know if this is harsh, but it lacks purpose. Because I believe, as I said, it has been a business as usual always. That people come, oh, let's go and do agenda, hey. Then, what are we doing to ourselves? Because we always forget the fact that from here we are getting onto the job market, onto the international scene. So this is the same thing that is happening at the national level that we are not happy with. Why do we come here and then be doing it just for, I don't know if for whatever reason, if maybe it is fun or something. So I believe what is not going on with the SRC is the lack of direction and purpose, which I believe my person and my character should bring in that to make sure we put the SRC on a certain path that I believe should be something to be proud of as students of GIJ SRC. The shuttle we are using, the grounded shuttle, one SRC president bought it 12 years ago. So that means after him, 12 SRC presidents has come into office. None of them could buy even one bus. In my interaction, on the N1, that people coming from La Paz, when they alight, I told them, this is something that you cannot just get up as SRC president and do. You have to work with people. And then if you understand how road regulations work in this country, you can't just go anywhere on the road and then spring up footbridge. It doesn't work that way. But if we have a shuttle system that is effective, that runs smoothly like UST and Legon, imagine a student coming and then the person alights at Jolu Junction, knowing very well that in the next minute, the shuttle will be there to pick the person to. So this is the kind of leadership we are trying to bring on board. What has not been done well? I believe the leadership, because I believe we have not added any quality to the leadership and politics of the school. That is why, excuse my words, agenda people seem to be having their way all the time. Because people are doing things to satisfy their parochial interests than the larger interest of the students. Why am I saying that? We are in a political season. This is a period that you would get to groom and get people to be interested in the politics. Then you appoint electoral commissioner very late. Then you are organizing elections between 10 days. You do a vetting, and then after the vetting, 3 days time you are going into an election. I have never seen this anywhere. The least period you get to campaign officially is 2 weeks in other institutions. What is wrong with GIJ? So we do this, and then at the end of the day, the unintended consequences will be that, I mean, the student's body will lose interest in the entire polity and the leadership of the school, which I believe is problematic. What will I change about myself? So people call me controversial, which I find a bit worrying. In our country, you try to insist that the right things are done, or try to be a principled person, you are seen as controversial. This light that we have in front of us, until someone touches it, it will remain there and it will be a light. It is human beings that change. But convictions and principles, they are stagnant and they don't change. So I would rather believe in insisting on the right things being done than to please some people whose interest is nothing but their interest. It is either their way or no other way. Thank you very much.
We've heard it all. We've asked our questions. But it looks as if we still have a lot of questions on our minds. Now, they can't convince us to vote for them because they've not gone through the vetting yet. But we assure you that after the vetting, we'll bring the qualified candidates here so you can interact with them better. This is still the 1957 news in collaboration with GIJ Headquarters. We promise to update you from now to 11th of October. Watch out for us more. Still leave your comments under the comment section at 1957 News on all platforms. Thank you. See you again.